From fossil fuels to clean energy, innovating for a greener world. Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about a topic that is very important to me, climate change. Climate change is a global issue that affects us all, and it's something that we need to take action on right now. In this video, we'll be discussing what climate change is, how it's affecting our planet, and what we can do to help. What is climate change? Climate change refers to the long-term changes in the Earth's climate, including changes in temperature, precipitation, and wind patterns. These changes are largely caused by human activities, such as burning fossil fuels, deforestation, and industrial processes. The buildup of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, such as carbon dioxide and methane, trap heat from the sun and cause the Earth's temperature to rise. Effects of climate change. The effects of climate change are widespread and can be seen all around us. The rising temperatures are causing the polar ice caps to melt, leading to rising sea levels and the displacement of coastal communities. Extreme weather events, such as hurricanes, floods, and droughts, are becoming more frequent and severe. Climate change is also affecting our natural resources, including our water supply, agriculture, and biodiversity. What can we do? While climate change may seem like an overwhelming problem, there are many things that we can do to help. One of the most important steps is to reduce our carbon footprint by using renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind power, and by reducing our energy consumption. We can also make changes in our daily lives, such as using public transportation, eating less meat, and reducing our waste. Causes of climate change. As mentioned earlier, climate change is largely caused by human activities that release greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, including burning fossil fuels like coal, oil, and gas for energy production, transportation, and industry. Deforestation and land use changes also contribute to climate change by releasing. Additionally, agriculture and livestock farming release methane, another potent greenhouse gas. Examples of climate change impacts. To make the impacts of climate change more tangible, you could provide specific examples of how it's affecting different parts of the world. For instance, you could talk about how rising temperatures and droughts are causing crop failures and food shortages in sub-Saharan Africa, or how melting permafrost is causing infrastructure damage and displacement of indigenous communities in the Arctic. You could also discuss how increased frequency and intensity of hurricanes and flooding are causing billions of dollars in damages in coastal cities around the world. Solutions to climate change. In addition to the individual actions you could take, you could also discuss some of the larger-scale solutions to climate change. For example, governments can implement policies to incentivize the transition to renewable energy and reduce emissions from industry and transportation. Companies can adopt sustainable practices and invest in green technologies. Individuals can also support climate-friendly policies and vote for leaders who prioritize climate action. The science of climate change. To help viewers understand the science behind climate change, you could explain how greenhouse gases trap heat in the atmosphere, and how this leads to a warming planet. You could also discuss how scientists study climate change through monitoring temperature, precipitation, and other indicators, and how they use computer models to project future changes. You could also address common misconceptions about climate change, such as the idea that natural factors like the sun or volcanic activity are the main drivers of climate change. The role of individuals. While systemic change is necessary to address climate change, individuals also have an important role to play in reducing emissions and promoting sustainability. you could provide practical tips on how viewers can reduce their carbon footprint, such as by using energy-efficient appliances, reducing meat consumption, and choosing low-emissions transportation options. You could also discuss the importance of making sustainable choices in other areas of life, such as fashion, travel, and home goods. The intersection of climate change and social justice. Climate change disproportionately affects marginalized communities around the world, who often contribute the least to the problem. You could discuss how climate change exacerbates existing inequalities, such as through increased food insecurity, displacement, and health impacts. You could also highlight the importance of centering social justice in climate action, and how solutions like renewable energy can create jobs and improve access to energy in underserved communities.
It is not our choice to determine.
To encourage viewers to take action, you could provide specific calls to action, such as signing petitions, contacting elected officials, or participating in climate strikes or other events. You could also discuss the importance of voting for candidates who prioritize climate action, and encourage viewers to get involved in local and national climate advocacy groups. Finally, you could end with an optimistic message about the potential for collective action to create a more sustainable and equitable world. The importance of collaboration. Addressing climate change requires a collective effort from individuals, governments, and businesses around the world. You could discuss the importance of collaboration across sectors and countries to reduce emissions, promote sustainable development, and adapt to the impacts of climate change. You could also highlight some of the international agreements and initiatives aimed at tackling climate change, such as the Paris Agreement, and discuss the potential for global cooperation to create a more sustainable future. The urgency of climate action. Climate change is not a distant threat, it is happening now, and its impacts are accelerating. You could discuss the urgency of taking action on climate change, and how delays in reducing emissions will make it harder and more expensive to address the problem in the future. You could also discuss the importance of setting ambitious emissions reduction targets and investing in clean energy technologies to transition to a low-carbon economy. The power of individual action. Individual actions may seem small in the grand scheme of things, but they can add up to make a big difference. You could discuss how small changes in our daily lives, such as using reusable bags or turning off lights when we leave a room, can save energy and reduce emissions. You could also highlight the importance of spreading awareness about climate change, and the role of social media in amplifying the message. The role of businesses. Businesses also have a crucial role to play in addressing climate change. You could discuss how companies can reduce their carbon footprint by adopting sustainable practices, such as using renewable energy, investing in energy efficiency, and reducing waste. You could also highlight the potential for businesses to drive innovation in clean technologies and contribute to the transition to a low-carbon economy. The importance of nature. Protecting and restoring natural ecosystems is also a key component of addressing climate change. You could discuss how forests, wetlands, and other ecosystems store carbon and provide other valuable services, such as regulating water cycles and supporting biodiversity. You could also highlight the importance of protecting indigenous lands and traditional knowledge, which can contribute to climate mitigation and adaptation efforts. Calls to action. To encourage viewers to take action, you could provide specific calls to action, such as signing petitions, contacting elected officials, or participating in climate strikes or other events. You could also discuss the importance of voting for candidates who prioritize climate action, and encourage viewers to get involved in local and national climate advocacy groups. Finally, you could end with an optimistic message about the potential for collective action to create a more sustainable and equitable world. To conclude our video, you could summarize the key takeaways and reiterate the importance of addressing climate change. You could also provide resources for viewers to learn more and take action, such as links to climate advocacy organizations or sustainable lifestyle tips. Finally, you could end with a message of hope, emphasizing that while the problem of climate change is daunting, we have the knowledge, technology, and collective will to solve it if we act now. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more content on climate change and sustainability.